Hello, I'm Dr. Sam Hancock of the Emerald Planet and Emerald Planet TV. We come to you on a week-to-week basis from Washington, D.C. in the United States as we look around the globe in 144 different nations, looking for those 1,000 best practices, the technology, services, and products that are making a difference as we move through the 21st century. And as we have a planet of 9 billion people by 2038 and possibly 12 to 13 billion by the end of this century, how are we going to be able to take care of all these people on planet Earth? And that's what Emerald Planet's all about. We come to you looking at the solutions, the best practices from around the globe as we create the Emerald Planet. Hello, welcome to the Emerald Planet. We're making a difference as we move through the 21st century. And seeing the long-term impacts of climate change. We're glad to have you. Thank you for being with us. And looking around planet Earth, one of the greatest challenges we have as we move through the 21st century is plastics in every water body on the planet. Whether it's oceans, lakes, seas, streams, whatever it may be, it's full of plastic. Plastic is injurious to humans, animals, plants, and also microorganisms. But we have a group that's part of Rotary International. It's called the International Yachting Fellowship of Rotarians, the IYFR, and they have this massive organization. It's called Plastic Free Waters. And it's an operation that really is worldwide. We have with us Alfonso Bolio. He's the Area 2 Commodore. And Alfonso, thank you for being with us.
Thank you very much for hosting us today.
Tell us a little bit about what is Rotary International and why is it important for your Fellowship of Rotarians?
Well, Rotary International is an organization. It's worldwide. It's formed by several clubs in different countries with all religions and beliefs. The International Yachting Fellowship of Rotarians is part of the fellowships of Rotary. So we're part of Rotary working in different ways.
Yeah, and you have this Operation Plastic Free Seas that we're going to be talking about and how to remove the plastic from waters all across the globe. But this flag that you have on the various ships, the yachts that are part of the IYFR, why is this important?
Well, it's very important because as a fellowship within Rotary, we're working, as you see the wheel, it's spinning all day, so we work 24 hours a day. That's the way we are Rotarians.
Now, looking at Area 2, this is a huge area that you have responsibility for as the Commodore. Tell us about this Area 2 and the fellowships that have been established in the Northern and the Southern Hemisphere.
Yeah, well, it comprises North America, Central America, and South America. We have 27 fleets from north to south. We have in the United States, Mexico, Colombia, Chile, Argentina, Peru, Uruguay, and some other countries. Mm-hmm. And in the islands out of the continent, we have a fleet in Hawaii that is part of the United States.
Now, we are talking about in the very beginning how that plastic is absolutely everywhere and it's in all water bodies. Why is this so hazardous and so dangerous to planet Earth and all living beings on planet Earth?
Well, plastic, it's a big problem around the world, every city, and more of those countries that have rivers, because most of the garbage goes to the rivers and rivers go to the ocean. So all the garbage goes direct to the bottom of the sea. And there are many ways we can fight it, and what we are trying to do in the world. And we have part of the start here with the International Yachting Fellowship of Rotarians. As you see in the picture, there's a guy and there's a lot of garbage, and that garbage becomes microplastics in many ways. So we can explain that later.
Now, looking at this, this is really a putrid photograph, but the gentleman sitting on the very end of his boat, completely surrounded by plastic and garbage. How is this really emblematic of what's going on across the entire planet?
Well, it's emblematic because in a few years there will be more plastic than fish in the oceans. But you see a lot of garbage goes to the patch, that it's a garbage patch in the North Pacific, and that's where people are working now. Boats are trying to get get rid of the garbage, and we will see that a little later too.
It's just absolutely amazing. This mother trying to feed her chick. This really symbolizes and captures what's actually going on in all the water bodies. Tell us what we're actually looking at here, and why is this devastating to planet Earth, but all living beings?
As you see, the bird spitting, the chick with garbage that is collected from the ocean or rivers. So when they eat that and they feed the birds, their chicks, they get the same plastic, and that plastic becomes part of the body, or they die. So that's a big problem. And it's only birds, it's fish and turtles that are good in the same garbage or as food.
Yeah, this photograph just really encapsulates what's going on and the hazard to all living beings. Looking at the seagrass and having all of this plastic bottles, at the bottom of the lakes, the oceans, rivers. How is this again so hazardous and so damaging to the proper functioning of the planet?
Well, as you see, all the plastic that goes to the ocean and it goes to the bottom, it becomes part of microparticles called microplastics. So those microplastics become part of the food of the fish and the sea life. So when we eat those fish, when we eat the fish, we get the same particles in our bodies. So those microplastics are a real problem now in the world. So maybe now, after you eat, you have part of that microplastic in your body. So that's really dangerous for human life.
Yeah, it's just amazing how the plastic now has gone through 100% of the food chain. So wherever you are, some way, directly or indirectly, we're ingesting plastic, and that's
That's
not
right.
good for any living being. This really also encapsulates what's going on in the oceans and the detriment to sea life.
Yeah, yeah. What you see there, it's a part of nets that are left by the fishermen in the ocean, the anglers. Those nets are called ghost nets. They go to the patch in the North Pacific, and that's where a lot of sea life is captured and they die.
Mm-hmm.
So the big patch in the North Pacific is a big problem, and we're trying to get rid of that.
Now, having this plastic, it's just floating everywhere. What's happening to this plastic, and why is it even more hazardous as it degrades than what it is right now?
Well, it's a problem, as I said, and it's becoming a microplastic after it's degraded in the ocean. So the fish that eat that, after we eat the fish, we get the same plastic in our bodies. What we're doing is trying to get rid of the use of straws and single-use plastic bags.
Yeah, it's just amazing what we're seeing here, Alfonso, and thank you for sharing these images. But we're all about best practices on the EmeraldPlanet TV. So we have the issues, but now we're getting into some of the solutions. Why is this photograph so important to implant in the minds of absolutely everyone on planet Earth?
Yeah, what we have to do is it's to avoid the use of single-use utensils and plastic bags. We have to stop using like the things that can go to the storage system. And that, as you see there, they're trying to prevent and to keep clean the streets, because that part you see there, all the garbage goes to the sewage system that goes to a different stream. Could be a river, could be to the ocean, like in poor countries, maybe Central American countries where they don't have like a very good system. Even Mexico, we have that problem.
Yeah, and the whole thing about it, this is something that even in Washington, D.C. and major cities in the United States, they're realizing that when they have these combined storm and sewer systems, you're getting raw garbage actually and sewage going into the tributaries, but also, again, the plastic is washing into these tributaries. And we have to realize the sea starts here. And I think that's a very valuable message. Looking
Right.
at these seines trying to eliminate the garbage that's going into the rivers and the streams, how does this actually help? We know that people need to not be doing this, but how does this actually help the water?
Well, it's helping trying to avoid the garbage to get into the ocean. If you collect the garbage before it gets to the ocean, that would be a good start. Some cities are using like nets in the streams or the sewage system or even the mouth of rivers, and they're trying to collect the garbage before it comes
Mm-hmm.
to the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really important, as you said, to start. Well, you see there in that picture that it's collected before it goes to another stream. So if they maintain that in their own good way, that would be a very good start for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's amazing how much collects. I mean, this is just one drain in
Yeah,
one town, one city, one county, and just how much is in just one of these drains. And then when you combine these multiple drains, each one of these is absolutely full of plastic.
that's right.
So, what do
So
you
yeah,
see over the next 5, 10, or 15 years as far as how these types of very simple but yet important solutions are to helping to start to at least eliminate some of the plastic and the garbage in the waterways?
that's right. We can start in our cities, our our mayors, the authorities of the city can start being worried about this. They can start working, and as a community, you can, as we have this program, the way to do is just to make it bigger and people get to know it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's the way. You have to teach the people how to do things, and
Right.
with very simple things, we can do a lot.
Yeah, it's just like trying to eliminate any type of exhaust going out into the environment. So there's many different ways, and going out and collecting in the ocean. So
Correct.
thank you very much, Alfonso Bolio, Area 2 Commodore, for the IYFR as we create the Emerald Planet.